Hi, I'm Matthew Rakowski, and this is my presentation for Professor Cowen's digital preservation class. My topic is on how COVID lockdowns accelerated digitization. This presentation will cover the impact of the COVID-19 lockdowns on digitization of record keeping and archives. That impact is extremely rapid movement away from physical paper records to predominant electronic records. That impact will be seen in two articles that I will examine closely. The first article will show how lockdowns was a tipping point for the transition to digital. The second article will show a case study of operating in the new method of digital work, with employees working from home. Then I will highlight some concerns that we have to keep in mind given the transition happening so quickly and without much planning. I will summarize the key conclusions to take away. And finally, I will share the source of the articles for use in this research. The reason I chose this topic is I saw an interesting and very timely article in November/December 2020 edition of Archival Outlook. The article was by Andre Hoff. She is a university archivist and records manager at the University of California, Riverside. Andrea Hoff wrote that COVID was a tipping point for digital, tipping point from paper to electronic. The lockdowns forced employees and students to work from home without much warning. Paper records in file cabinets at the office and physical books at libraries were no longer accessible. This certainly increased the volume of digital records, according to Hoff. And paper records will likely be a casualty of the pandemic. The sudden change brought about by the closure of libraries, archives, and places of business was a pivotal moment for the archivist profession, when work shifted from predominantly physical to digital. For closed libraries, it meant digitization became a top priority. In most cases, their doors were closed and they became digital-only libraries. If it wasn't digitized, then it wasn't available. We shall see a case study about that in a moment. A pandemic is both a cause and the context for the tipping point, according to Hoff. Many libraries, universities, and historical societies actively solicited donations of digital materials to document the pandemic. This is turning out to be a significant volume. Again, more on this in the case study article. Lastly, the author wrote that archivists will have to review their organization's born digital records programs and policies because it's likely that they were not ready for this rapid change. The second article I want to review is from a peer-reviewed journal, Digital Library Perspectives, from last year. It is by 3 faculty members of the University of Utah's Marriott Library. Anna Niertor is the Digital Initiatives Librarian at the Marriott Library. Jeremy Mitty is the library's interim Associate Dean, Collections and Scholarly, and Rachel Whitman is the Digital Curation Library at the Marriott Library. This is a case study on the University of Utah's project to create a historical archive of the pandemic. The article's authors present this as an opportunity to record history as it happens in a Born Digital collection. Born Digital was the only choice, but it was the perfect choice for rapid development of a collection in real time. The University of Utah, like many organizations, had to send most of their employees to work from home as well as their students. The university's libraries closed its doors and the librarians had extra time on their hands. The university took on the opportunity to put their librarians to work on this Born Digital COVID collection. The project was successful, not only because they had the time and the people dedicated, but also because the project created a structure for the metadata from the start. They also figured out how to secure the rights to publish the material submitted to the collection. Digital is good, right? Well, there are some things to be concerned about. The process were redesigned overnight at unprecedented speed. There was not a lot of time to plan things out. The rapid shift of the way we work raises security and privacy concerns. Employees shifting from paper to digital records processing may not have been trained on important concepts like retention, duplication, or file naming standard. Libraries and archives responded to the lockdowns by digitizing and putting more content online, sometimes without all the legal copyright permissions in place. Digital exhaust is a new term to me. It's metadata from all the Zoom meetings, instant messaging, and other communications that replaced person-to-person conversations in the office. These electronic communication technologies created a lot of metadata around who interacted, who joined a meeting, who assigned an action, and so forth. The digital footprint of employees and students grew a lot larger during the pandemic. It grew so much that companies are looking to use artificial intelligence to analyze the metadata and make predictions about employee behavior. Setting aside Big Brother concerns, we may need to adopt retention preservation policies to take the digital exhaust into account. In conclusion, institutions are learning and will become better at managing the new ways of working and researching. Movement to digitize and born digital will not be reversed once the pandemic is over. Digitized records and archives offer advantages in rapid development, access, searchability, and freedom from physical space constraints. The rapid and unplanned transition created opportunities to digitize, but also it comes with some concerns that will need to be sorted out: privacy, security, copyright, and training. There were 7 sources used in this presentation. The 2 main articles were the Andrea Hoff article in Archival Outlook and the Digital Library Perspectives article by Nir Tor and others. The other 5 sources were used to highlight the concerns of the rapid move to digital. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening.